Record. Okay. Go live. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. OMG. It's been a week. It has been a week. Good morning. Top of the day to you. I'm going to get started. Listen. Sound mind. A sound mind. What is that? What does that mean? Having a sound mind. I was so convicted yesterday as I'm listening to this topic, this word. And I said, I got to share this. A sound mind. Like, what is your definition of a sound mind? So I wanted to look it up. I wanted to give you a definition. There's several definitions of a sound mind, but I want to share the one that I just stood out for me, that I liked. Something that is delivered, rescued, revived, salvaged, and protected is now safe and secure. In the times that we are in, we have got to protect our minds. You've got to protect your mind. It is a must. God has given us a sound mind. And I think what happens is we listen to a lot of stuff. We're watching a lot of stuff. We're just consuming so much stuff, and our mind gets cluttered. Our mind gets cluttered with all kind of stuff. Then we start having fear and anxiety and all kind of doubt and all types of stuff. That's why it's important what you're watching, what you're listening to, and who you're talking to, and what you're saying. Because a lot of times we keep saying this stuff, wondering why we're stuck in that state. You keep talking about you depressed, you're gonna stay depressed. If you keep talking about it, you're gonna stay in that state. I'm depressed, I'm this, I'm that. You're speaking that over your life. Like you are. Even if you are that, you don't have to keep saying that. That does not define who you are. We have to feed our mind. We have to make sure we're feeding our mind positive things, encouraging things that's going to help us elevate, not make us, depressed or sad or want to take our lives. We got to be mindful what we're feeding ourselves is important. And so I wanted to share my what I do. And I didn't always do this. When I did not do this, I had the doubt. I had the depression. I had the fear. I had all of that stuff when I was not mindful of what I was doing. I was just going through the motions, right? I was going out every weekend, going to the bar every weekend, just drinking, just having a good old time. Thought that was life. Thought I was living a dream. Child, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know how I made it home. Okay? Just stuck. Okay? And I realized I got to a point, and I'm like, I don't want to keep doing this. Like, what is this? And then I went through this thing, this separation, this completed relationship. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to keep going to the same place. I don't want to keep hanging around the same people. I don't want to keep doing the same thing. No shade to them. It's just that they were not my future. That's the past. So that didn't look right to me. I didn't want to keep doing those same things. I just didn't. It kept me stuck. It kept me stuck and complacent. And I was in this cycle and nothing was changing. Nothing was changing until I said, you know what? I don't want to go around. I don't want to hang out. I don't want to do those things. Yeah, I like the people, but guess what? They're not my future. They're my past. And if I continue to do those things and hang around those people, I'm not gonna grow. I'm not gonna evolve. There's so many things that he has for us, and sometimes the people that you're connected to keep you stuck. You can't even move in. You can't even grow because they know, don't do that. Oh, what you doing? They're trying to hold you down. They can't. Either you're gonna grow with me or you're gonna let me go. But I'm not gonna stay here. And so I made a choice not to stay there. I invested in myself. I found people who I aspired to be like, right? Not be them, but I wanted to, I want to be a speaker. So I started following Lisa Nichols, right? So I invested in myself. And then inside of her community, I met some amazing like-minded people. That's why community is important. Because who you surround yourself with, you are going to look like them. You're going to talk like them. You're going to act like them. You're going to do the things that they're doing. That's why it's important. So the people who I admire, who I hook my caboose to, they look like where I'm going, not where I was. That's the key. You gotta find out whatever that thing is that you love, right? Find somebody that's killing a game. Hook your caboose to their train, right? Start taking notes. I have so many notebooks in here of the notes I've been taking for the past couple of years since the pandemic. I realized all of this in the pandemic. I'm like, when I was stuck in the house, I ain't missed nothing. When I said I ain't missed not one thing, I started looking at me. I started working on me. I started investing in me. I started to grow, to develop. That's when I met myself. Listen, I had a whole book. I went through this thing that I thought was going to take me out, and it actually lifted me up. It didn't take me out. It lifted me up. Okay? Did that, and I said, you know what? There's so much more, and I ain't done yet. I am not done yet. I'm constantly investing in myself. I am constantly, being involved with people that are where I want to go, not where I've been, where I want to go. A lot of times we're feeding ourselves all of this doubt, or all of this by the stuff that we're watching. There's certain TV shows. Good morning. Thank you. There's certain TV shows I do not watch. There's certain music I do not listen to. There's certain people I don't talk to. If all you do is complain and woe is me, I will not. So you have to be mindful of what you're watching, what you're listening to, and who you are surrounding yourself with. It is very important. I am telling you. So I've met all these amazing, everybody that I am attached to, that I work with now, that I have invested in myself are people I met in Lisa Nichols' team. Lakeisha Michelle, I met through Lisa Nichols. Coach Sean Smith, I met through Lisa Nichols. Coach Michelle Moore, I met through Lisa Nichols. My accountability partners, we're still meeting till this day. Since the pandemic, about 3 or 4 years ago, we meet every Monday. I am intentional with my day. When I'll get up in the morning, talk to God, we have our one-on-one, then I listen to a word. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be honest with you. I listen to a word every day, because Sunday ain't enough for me. I need to be fed daily. You see what's coming at us? You got to feed yourself daily, not just Sunday. No, Sunday ain't enough for me. Sunday is not enough for me. I need it every day. So here's my routine. I'm going to share my routine, what I do, and you figure out what works for you. So on Monday, I got Entrepreneur School. That's for my business, right? You got to invest in these places where you want to grow. The areas that you don't have, that you need, information and you lack a lot of skills in, invest in those areas. So Monday's Entrepreneur School. We have a live Zoom call, right? I'm over here working, but I'm listening. Okay. That's the caveat of me being able to work from home. Love it. All right. Then I have on Wednesday, I have Lunch and Learn. So this is my spiritual development investment. Daniel's Den. That's Lunch and Learn. Listen, being in the room for me. People's breakthroughs and people's testimonies and the questions that they ask. I didn't even know they was my questions. When they coaching one person, they coaching everybody. So then Friday, same group, is book club. That's the other the live video that I listen to. And that's on Fridays at 8:00 in the morning. I'm like, ooh, I can't. I love my life. I love it because I'm intentional about where I'm going, who I'm talking to, the investments that I'm making in myself. You have to invest in yourself. And if you can't afford to do that, guess what? YouTube University all day. Go on there, type in whatever area you want to grow and learn. Type that thing in there. Guess what? It's going to have a series of videos you can watch, even books you can listen to that are free. Speaking of books, our book club is we're in this book right here, The Self-Aware Leader by John Maxwell. Let me tell you how this book grabbed my whole life together, y'all. How to deal with criticism. Let me tell you what happened. I'm gonna tell you my real life experience. I'm in a new job, and I've been doing it about 4 months. And we had these group meetings. We have meetings on like Tuesdays, I believe. So we had a group meeting, and we got the boss there, and then it's like about 6 of us. So at the end of the meeting, let me just get to the story. Let me get to the story. At the end of the meeting, anybody got any questions? I didn't have anything. One person had something. So I kind of want to share my screen. The individual said, yes, John Maxwell is so good. He said, I want to share my screen. So he shared his screen, and he was pointing out everything I was doing wrong. According to this little procedure, this one of these things that I do. He had a whole, he shared his screen about what I was doing wrong. Now, me and this person we have had conversations one-on-one. So this caught me by storm. I'm like this right here. I feel like I was under the bus, and I'm like, dude, but like you could have reached out to me one-on-one. What is this about? Didn't say anything. I handled that thing. I handled the criticism, and it wasn't really criticism. It was feedback, right? So I handled that like a G. Okay. So then later during the week, what I love about the team that I work with, we have one-on-ones. Okay. So, what's going on? What's up? You got any questions? And so I was like, I didn't understand what happened in that meeting. I said, I just felt like, I was just caught by blindsided. I said, because me and him had one-on-one conversation. So I didn't understand that. And so she was like, and she was just, the way I said it, I loved it. I love to make people laugh. So she was just laughing. We both was just laughing. She was crying, laughing, like, she said, I really did need this laugh. She said, but I already got your name by his name at the top of my page. So whenever I have my meeting with him, I'm going to go over this with him. And I was like, okay. So then later on, after she had that meeting, later on during the week, I got a call. It's like, well, can we talk? And I was like, I was like, I really was apprehensive about it, because I was like, I don't even know if I want to talk to this man right now. So I was like, okay, cool. So he's like, I want to apologize. I didn't mean to do it in that way. The next time I have a problem or whatever, or there's something that I see that you're doing, I will contact you, one-on-one. Thank you. I said, well, I accept your apology. So this book helped me. It helped me because a lot of times it's hard for us to handle the feedback. And then it's really, who is it coming from, right? So this is coming from somebody that that's doing the same job that I'm doing, that's doing it longer than me. So of course there are going to be things that I don't know. And I didn't realize that I am where he's at, the position that I got, I'm really above him. But I didn't know that. So I'm looking at it like, well, dang, did I do something to him? Like, what's up? So I'm just taking this thing, making it internal, and it's not even about me. It's just about the feedback. So wanted to share that. So let me get into the topic of what I want to talk about today. I heard a word, and I wasn't even going to talk about this, y'all. I had no intentions on talking about this, but Holy Spirit just be doing this thing, and I just be like, okay. I was sitting here, and I was just like, ooh, a sound mind. There's so many people who are I see that people they're spiraling, they're just losing it. And my question to you, I want to ask, like, what are you listening to? What kind of music are you listening to? What kind of shows are you watching? If you're watching those reality shows where they just fighting, and you wonder why you want to fight, are you listening to the shows about, killing, and you scared? It's like literally what you're watching, you just start to marinate on that thing, period. So I'm telling you, I got a routine. Before I go to bed, I might watch, I don't watch a too scary show because I don't want no spirits to be in my house. I ain't got time to be standing over me in my sleep. I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time to be opening my house up to that, opening my spirit up to that stuff. So I'm mindful of what I watch. And so before I go to sleep, there's this Christian app called PureFlix. So I watch a Christian movie, honey. I watch a faith-based movie before I go to sleep. So I can have good dreams. Because, honey, I don't know if you ever had that thing, that witch, devil, whatever thing is, ride you or get on you and you can't move. You be like, and nothing coming out is real. So I'm mindful of I am mindful of what I watch and what I listen to, because that stuff is real. People be opening that stuff up. Look at him. No, I don't want it. Ain't gonna watch it. I am sorry. I'm not watching it. Monique got a new movie out, and child talking about, look, I forgot the name of it. Oh, I love her, but I'm not watching that movie. I'm not about to open my house up to that stuff. I ain't got time. I got to get some holy water and oil and bless your house and stuff, because all kind of stuff be up in there, and you be wondering why you can't sleep, having nightmares. What you watching? What you listening to? Be mindful of that. Okay. So nevertheless, you've been given a sound mind. Okay. And I gave you the definition of what a sound mind is, right? This is the definition. They got several definitions. But this definition says something that is delivered, rescued, revived, salvaged, and protected, and is now safe and secure. God has given us a sound mind. What happens, we start feeding it all kind of other stuff. All kind of stuff. And being wondering why we walking around here stressed out, depressed, all kind of stuff. What are you listening to? What are you watching? Who are you talking to? Who are you hanging around with? It's important. All right. When you live with a sound mind, you're allowing God to breathe life back into your brain and your heart. Okay. When you're not operating with a sound mind, you feel fear, stress, anxiety, no self-esteem. Here's what I want you to know. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Okay, don't let that stuff take you out. You cannot. I'm not available for that. How to develop a sound mind. Block all the thoughts that are gripping your mind. Don't allow the story to define you. So let me give y'all a scripture. Proverbs 4:23. Guard your heart above all else, for it determines the quality of your life. You have to guard your heart. Okay, and your mind. All right. You protect everything else. What about your mind? You got an alarm on your car, right? You got your money in the bank account, right? You probably got a lock on your phone too. Okay. What about this right here? How are you protecting your mind? What are you doing to protect your mind? Okay, and I have a routine out here. I already went through that. Sunday is not enough. I need the word every day, so I feed my mind spiritually. That's how I feed my mind spiritually every day. That's how I'm saying. Honestly, that is how I'm saying. I stay full with that. I stay full with the word. I will ask God to fill me with his Holy Spirit and trust his Spirit will lead me. Yes, we got to let him in. Because if not, if you let the other stuff in, wonder why you walking around here about to pull all your hair out. You want to slap somebody, you want to fight somebody, and it ain't them, baby, it's you. What you got going on in here? What you feeding this? And what's in here? Because out of the heart, it comes out of the mouth. You can just tell what's on somebody's heart. Sometimes I just be like, "Ooh, Lord, I got to pray for them." Because they're just so mad. They're so hurt. They're so angry. And I'm going to also give you tips on how to coach yourself. Okay. So, I don't watch certain movies or shows. I don't listen or talk to everybody. And then I detox my Facebook page too. Honestly, I detox that thing. If I see that and you got all kind of stuff that I ain't into, no, delete, block. No, you have to be mindful of the stuff that you're watching. You think the stuff is so real. Be mindful what you fill in your mind with. Okay. I am mindful of what I say because out of the heart, the mouth speaks. You got to guard your eyes, your ears, and your mouth. Find your community of people that are like where you want to go. Okay. And then I share my routine. I also listen to books. I listen to podcasts and YouTube. So those are things I do to keep myself sane. I'm telling you, I got a whole routine and I can literally show you what I do during the week. So this is my notebook, and now listen to the sermon. I take whatever stands out for me. I just write it down. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Amen. So on Monday, I listened to this sermon by Pastor Keon, and it was comfort with grace. I'm just going to read one thing I wrote down that stood out for me. The more we filled up with his spirit, the more sensitive we are to the sin around us. Exactly. Sometimes the detour is saving your life. The route is designed to kill your enemies, not to confuse you. So that's what I got from that. I got some other stuff, but I just want to share one thing. And then on that Tuesday, I listened to a sermon by Bishop T.D. Jakes called Wanted. You can't be disruptive without being constructive. Okay. I thought that was so juicy. And then I've got next. That's Jerry Flowers. These are people that that feed me. So I just go and listen, take what I need from there, eat the meat, spit out the bones. Okay. So he was talking about you cannot become who you need to be while remaining who you are. You cannot become who you need to be while remaining who you are. I could not continue to be that person that went out to the club, that went partying every weekend. If I wanted to be a transformational speaker or a coach. I couldn't do both things. I can't change and I can't be the same and change at the same time. There's some things that I had to die to. There's some things you have to let go of. You can't hold on to that and then say you want this. Okay? It's all about the character. It's all about your character as well. Okay, so then after that, the self-aware leader. I wrote some stuff out of that. Chapter 5. Listen more than you talk. People quit people, not companies. Listen, learn, then lead. Listen, and the most important person you'll ever lead is you. And if you can't lead you, how you going to lead anybody else? You got to be able to lead you. You cannot connect with someone you don't understand. And then about handling criticism with grace. I handled that criticism with grace. I was like, okay. And if you want to be a good leader, you need to get used to criticism because to me, it's feedback. It's feedback, especially if it's something that's helping me. Now, when something is criticism, people just putting you down and talking about you. That's, criticism. But if they're telling you something that's for your good, you take it with a grain of salt. You eat the meat, spit out the bones. Amen. We are one way. Now we're different. Yeah. And so this is from Entrepreneur School, and this is stuff that stood out for me. Your brain must be in a certain chemical state to create. For me, when I get up in the morning, that is my most creative state. Okay, I write. I look at here, stuff I do videos. Like I'm just like, oh, I need to share this. Stuff just comes to me in the morning time. That's my time. And you might just figure out what your time is, your creative time for you to write or draw or whatever your passion is. Do that thing. Like figure out when is your creative time. As long as you have convinced yourself it's wrong, you're gonna stop doing it. So this is we were talking about, as far as putting our videos, our personal messages out here. And some people are so attached to their message, and the people they don't care about, let me say this, and it's going to sound crazy. They don't care about you. They care about your message. It is not about you. It is about your message. They don't care about the messenger. They care about the message. All right. Perfecting the irrelevant. Child, I'm working on my website, and I've been doing this thing for a couple weeks now. And when he said that, I was like, that's me. Perfecting the irrelevant. The stuff that we care about so much, people don't care about that. If you got a business, and look at here, I've been selling t-shirts before I even had a website. So perfecting the irrelevant. If they want it, they want it. They want to know how you can get it to them. That's it. All right. The website is nice and cool, and you should have that, right? But it ain't something you need to get started. All right. Because I'm telling you, I did it for a while before I even had a website. I'm going through something now. God Almighty, praying for Williams help deliver. Yes, we're gonna stand in agreement and pray for Sylvia Williams as well. Whatever she needs, Lord, bless her with that, heal her, work on her. We stand in agreement that it is done. It's done. It's already done. Amen. It's done. Okay. What else? People need to see something 32 times before they take action. I have a book, right? And I posted this thing. People, they congratulate me. Honey, the book been out since 2021. I just don't really share it like as often as I should. The day I found myself, the relationship ain't gonna take you out, and you have made it without you. You lived. You were fine before you even met the person. A lot of people say I can't live without them. Honey, you better. You live without them before, and you can live without them after. It's good to pray before giving a message so that it is honoring to God. So and I do that before I come on here. Lord, just guide my tongue. Lord, just guide me. Like, give me the right words to say to the right people. That's really my prayer every day. Like, I pray to be a blessing to others. And him blessing me, then I get to bless somebody else. I get to bless you with the stuff that I'm blessed with, that I'm learning, that I'm receiving, right? So I'm all about service. I am all about service. And I'm like, just speak through me so I can share that. So I can help somebody else. But yes, what else? Everything. Okay. So all this stuff I just said is brand new. And here's what the brain is going to do. Everything new is a potential threat until we tell the brain it's not. Everything new is a potential threat until we tell the brain it's not. Just like when I had to get up in front of church and read the presentation for the Black History program for the week. It was a lot. And at the last minute, somebody backed out. I was like, oh, I got to read more? You saying, are you for real? And it's like, but God was like, but you said you a speaker. You said you're a transformational speaker, so speak. And that's what I did. And it turned out amazing. I stumbled upon some words, but it's okay. See, that fear, the brain is going to say, oh, we don't need to do that. You remember in school, it'll go back to the root of that thing, right? You got to pull that root up, because if you don't pull the root up, you're going to keep producing the same fruit. So you got to get to the root. Why am I feeling like this? A lot of times we have to get to that root. And sometimes people don't want to get their hands dirty. They don't want to pull that stuff up because it's messy and it's ugly. But it's the only way you're going to produce new fruit. You got to pull that root up. So the root was in school, I might have raised my hand and answered the question wrong, and everybody's laughing. So now I don't want to get it, or either I stutter, right? I used to stutter really bad. Sometimes I still do. And so I'm like, oh my God, every time I got to read, I'm like, what I got to read? Like even, and she contacted me again. See, I'm stuttering right now. She contacted me again about reading the announcements. And I'm like, well, here's the brain. It's automatic. You can't even help it. But you get to tell it, we chill out. We gonna do this. So my brain is like, well, do you have a script to go by? Because I get up there and sometimes you're like, well, what am I supposed to say? Sometimes I'll be forgetting to say, well, welcome visitors visiting for the first time. You wish to stand and greet your, say your name. Like I forget. Sometimes I get up there and forget all of that. So for me, I want a script. And if she don't give me one, I'm going to create one. Okay, if she don't give me one, I'm going to create one. Because in the past, that's what they had. They had a book. You go up there with your book. You know what you're going to read. You know the format. I need a format. Or I can get, because I gotta separate, the influencer, the coach from, I'm in church reading announcements. I can't get up and say, this is the day the Lord has made. I'll rejoice and be glad. And I can say that, but I need a script, a format to go by. So that's what I need. So figure out what you need, what works for you. And like I said, the brain will be like, oh girl, hold up. And you can be like, we got this and we're going to do this. Because the fear is designed to keep you safe. All right. It's like, you're on a busy highway. Don't step out in the highway. You listen to that, right? Because that's going to keep you safe. But when it comes to get up there and speak or share your story, don't do that because people nope, I'm going to do that because it's bigger than me. So you got to know what to tell the fear. The fear is going to be there. It ain't going nowhere. It's going to be there. But you get to tell it, I got this, or I hear you, or you know what? I'm going to do this anyway. You'll be all right. We got this. The brain is going to do that every time. This is brand new. And when it's brand new, it can be a little uncomfortable, right? It can be. We had on the book club yesterday. It was so good. And everybody was literally coached in that moment. And everybody was like, I'm not all right. I'm not okay. We was not okay. After we heard all the stuff we heard, we was not okay. And we have to allow ourselves that time, that space to breathe in this new information, right? Go outside, walk on the ground, to ground yourself with no shoes on. It sounds crazy, but that's how you ground yourself. You gather your thoughts. You come back into where you are in this moment, because whenever you're hearing a lot of information, like when it comes to coaching, when you're hearing a lot of new information, you're uncovering things about yourself. You're peeling back those layers. You get a little sensitive. Okay, I don't know where that came from, but I just thought I'd share it. So now I'm gonna close out with some tips on how to coach yourself. Yeah. Okay. So you wanna develop a framework that can help you coach yourself out of the problem. So in every problem in your life, this method shows you the solution. Excuse me. Thought I had to burp. It can be relational, financial, professional, business, parenting. The solution will be found in one of these areas. So we're going to talk about the head, since I said about a sound mind. We're just going to really just talk about the head. Good morning. We're going to talk about the head. Mindset problem. Belief system. We have a situation or event. Something happens. It's a fact. It happened. For example, you lost your job, there's a breakup, there's a car accident. The situation creates thoughts, and your thoughts are your interpretation of what the situation means. The situation is a fact. However, your interpretation of the situation is not a fact. Example, you can have a car wreck and think, I'm going to lose my job. This is not a fact, okay? Situation versus interpretation of the situation means the enemy is an illusionist. He uses the imagination. He uses your imagination to create terrible circumstances. So you're playing out of your head. False evidence appearing real. Fear. He wants to take your situation and impact your interpretation of the situation and create thoughts. Okay? At this point where you need to, this is the point where you reframe, okay? Refuse to accept the enemy's interpretation of what the situation means. If you do not address this quickly and reframe it, the thoughts will become feelings. So now you have feelings. Now you have emotions and anxiety, and the enemy has compounded the problem. That's why you want to stop it before it gets to the feelings, okay? And when you are coaching you want to catch it at the situation, at the thought. It is hard to change behaviors, especially when they become habits. They're harder to break. When it comes to coaching, oh my God, trying to coach somebody, it can be hard because they have this situation and it turned into feelings, right? Those feelings, then it formed beliefs, and now they think this is the truth. And I'm gonna give you an example of my personal experience. The problem was growing up in a single parent home. My brother and sister had a father I was about 7 years old. My brother and sister had a father. I did not know my father at that time. So I became a little girl. I don't understand why they got a daddy and I ain't got no daddy. I don't understand that. Okay. I grew up thinking that was the situation. My belief was I'm not good enough. Nobody, men don't love me. My dad didn't love me. He ain't there. They're going to leave. Every man that come in my life going to leave. Just like he did. I can't trust men because they don't show up just like he did. That's the belief. That's the situation, and the situation formed the thoughts, right? And the beliefs. This was the belief. I operated from this belief for decades until I got sick and tired of being in this cycle, right? Then I got coached. And as a coach, they take you to a place inside of yourself you can't go by yourself. I was able to go back, reframe that thing, right? Now I got a new belief. He wasn't there because he wasn't there, right? And I forgive him. And I forgive myself. And that's when my whole entire life changed. Because I had been operating from this fear, false evidence appearing real. I was operating from this fear. And I thought I wasn't good enough. I thought I wasn't worthy because my dad wasn't there at that age that I needed, that I didn't understand. And nobody could explain it. My mom couldn't explain that to me. He ain't there. And if they're mad with that, if they're mad with their parent, then they start putting this stuff in your head about them. And then you start to form an opinion about what you hear as a child because you don't know. You don't know. So a lot of stuff I had to unlearn. A lot of things I had to unlearn. And it really started with me forgiving. Once I forgave, I opened my heart to learn, to unlearn, and to love, and to know and to learn what love really is, and to receive it and to give it. Because I wasn't giving it. I never saw it. So how can I give something I never saw? I would be in relationship after relationship and nothing ever worked. I was looking for my father in these men, and they could not possibly give me him. They couldn't give me that love. They couldn't give me that acceptance of a father. They couldn't give me the words, the affirmation. They couldn't give me that because some of them did not have it to give, and I had this expectation of them. And when I realized they couldn't meet it, they got to go. I get another one. They couldn't do it. They got to go. I get another one. They couldn't do it. They got to go. I get another one. I was in a cycle of that until I had to say, you know what? Oh, nothing is working. I'm doing the same thing, expecting a different result. That's insanity. I had to get the help and support I needed. I had to love on me. I had to accept me because I didn't, but I was expecting other people to give me what I couldn't give myself. Listen to that now. I was expecting other people to give me what I couldn't give myself. And I was holding them accountable. You this and you that, and they did this and they did that. And when you point that one little finger, you got all those other fingers pointing at you. So I had to look in the mirror. What is up with me? Lord, help me. Why not me? I said, why me? He said, why not you? Then I got the help and support I needed. And here we are. I coach young ladies on self-love, self-forgiveness, self-acceptance. I help young ladies release those bags that they've been carrying for so long. Your back is heavy. You know Erykah Badu's song, Bag Lady, you gonna hurt your back carrying all them bags like that. Humpback, I was humpback, carrying them bags in every relationship. Expecting somebody to give me something they couldn't give me. I mean, it's only everything. It was only everything. I began this journey and I just started doing the same. I started doing the work. I look at here. People are losing their mind. They're losing their mind because the stuff that they're listening to, the people that they're around. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And you are the change. You are the change. It starts with us. I got sick and tired of me. Like, I don't want to keep living my life like this. So what do I got to do? Lord, send me the people. Show me. I need to see some examples because I didn't see this growing up. Show me. Place the people I need in my life so I can be better for my children. Okay? It's only everything. You have not because you ask not. A hook like a boost to their train. And my life has never been the same. I made so many uncomfortable investments in myself, and I will continue to invest in myself. When you get a coach, you get a therapist, you get a whatever counselor, you're not investing in them. You invested in you. It ain't about them. It's about you. And you are worth it. I didn't think I was worth it. My 7-year-old little girl didn't think she was worth it. I have to constantly tell her, you are worth it. You are loved. You are accepted. You are needed. You are wanted. Whether a man stays in your life or not, your Heavenly Father was always there. But you didn't know it because you had all this stuff. You had all these people. And I had to remove them to show you me, and help you meet you. Because when you don't know who you are, you'll accept anything. You'll do anything. You'll go anywhere. You talk to anybody. You let anybody in when you don't know. But when you know, oh no, you got to go. Oh, I don't want that. That's a no. And no is a complete sentence. So yeah, that's me. That's me out here helping young ladies learn to love themselves. Put your clothes back on. I used to wear the little skimpy stuff, wanting attention. I wanted attention. That's why I did it. I wanted attention. That's why I did it. I loved attention. I needed that. Because I didn't have that growing up. So whatever you don't get growing up, you'll seek it outside of yourself. Whatever you don't get in the home, you'll seek it outside. So you got to give your kids this stuff. You got to tell them that they're beautiful. You got to tell them that you love them. Because if not, some old funky man will come along and tell them that, and they say, they're just going to give him everything. Because they never heard, they never got that. That was me. Until it wasn't. So you are your own rescue. You got to take part in your rescue. You got to participate in your rescue. It's hard trying to rescue somebody that don't want to be rescued. You cannot. You can't change anybody. Look how hard it was to change me. I know I can't change nobody. That ain't my job. I ain't God. That ain't my job. It's up to the person. Sometimes you love people where they at and leave them where they at too. That's it. So I had something else, but it slipped my mind. I feel complete. I feel complete. I wanted to share this morning. This is how I stay sane, man. I feed myself. I feed my mind. I don't just talk to everybody. I don't just listen to everything. I don't just say everything. I'm mindful who is in my circle. I'm mindful, this is what I watch. I'm mindful what I listen to. So the area that you want to grow in, and invest in it. Like, get books. Find the resources. Let me end my podcast.